Good morning all of you. So children of class 9th in social studies, we are starting our last chapter of our geography book. Clear? One of the chapter that is deleted from your portion. This is your 5th chapter, but according to your new syllabus this is supposed to be your 4th chapter, and this is the last one. So let us see. The name of our chapter is Natural Vegetation and Wildlife. Natural vegetation refers to a plant community which has grown naturally without human aid and has been left undisturbed by human for a long time. This is termed as virgin vegetation. Clear? So numerous plants are there which are grown easily, and if people are not disturbing them, like some forest areas, if people are not disturbing those areas, those plants are grown easily there. No? And huge big number is grown there. So all those plant community together, that is counted as natural vegetation. And one more term which is given in our geography, this is virgin vegetation. That kind of plants are grown together. The term flora is used to denote plants for a particular region or a period. So two terms are related with natural vegetation, flora and fauna. I think you all have heard these terms. Flora, basically what is flora? This is used to denote plants. Plants of that particular area, that is counted as flora. And the species of animal, that referred as fauna. And the number of animals which are there in that particular region, they are counted as fauna. This huge diversity in flora and fauna kingdom is due to following factors. Now we have to see why this big number of flora and fauna is there in our natural vegetation. Some of the factors are there. Those factors we have to discuss now. First one is land. Clear? Now land affect natural vegetation directly and indirectly. Okay? Directly also land affect and indirectly also land affects. The fertile level is generally devoted to agriculture. So the fertile part of this land where people are growing their crops, no? Agriculture is there in that area. Rest of the area, that is wasteland. The undulating and rough terrains are the area where grassland and woodlands are developed and give shelter to variety of wildlife. Okay? On the fertile area, agriculture, people are doing agriculture. The rest of the area which is not at all fertile, where rough terrains are there, rough features are there. So in that area what is happening? Grassland and woodlands are grown. Clear? And in these areas different kind of wildlife are taking shelter. So this is our first factor. Now see the second factor, that is soil. Different type of soil provide a basic for different type of vegetation. Definitely, clear? Different type of vegetation like wheat, jawar, bajra, no? And we are talking about apple, mangrove, so different vegetations are there. According to different kind of soil, different kind of vegetation is grown. The sandy soil of the desert supports cactus and thorny bushes. Okay, the sandy soil, basically in the areas like Rajasthan we are having sandy soil. So there what we are getting, what kind of vegetation? We have cactus and we have thorny bushes. Now, while wet, marshy, deltaic soil support mangrove and deltaic vegetation, while the areas which are deltas, clear, muddy soil is there, in that type of soil, basic tree which are grown, that is mangroves. Clear? So vegetation are different according to soil. The soil at the hill slopes are conical trees when we are moving towards the hilly areas. Clear? Like Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, when we move towards. So what is the type, variety? That is conical trees, conical forest. Cone shaped forests are found there. Understood? So according to soil, different kind of vegetation. The third factor, that is temperature. Now, the character and the extent of vegetation are mainly determined by temperature along with humidity in air, precipitation and soil. Clear? Temperature means if humidity is there, if precipitation is there, definitely high temperature. If it is very calm, very soft, no, moderate temperature. Harsh winds are blown there, so definitely that is very cool temperature. So according to temperature only different kind of vegetations are determined. The fall in the temperature affect the vegetation and its growth. If the temperature is going down, definitely different kind of vegetation. If it is very high temperature, definitely different kind of vegetation. Then photoperiod. Next factor is sunlight. The variation in the duration of sunlight at different places is due to the differences in latitude, altitude, season and duration of day. I think this term latitude and altitude, now all of you, if you have seen my previous videos, this term latitudes many time I had explained you, altitude also many time I explain you. Season you all know, duration of day you all know. So due to the longer duration of sunlight, trees grow faster in summer. During the summer period, trees are growing faster because long sunlight, long time period of sunlight, the trees are getting. And then next factor is precipitation. Areas of heavy rainfall have more dense vegetation as compared to the areas of less rainfall. Definitely high rainfall means very good vegetation, less rainfall means very dense vegetation. Okay. Now, so the very important topic of our lesson is types of vegetation, and here this topic many of the things you have to by heart. Okay, so according to our India we are having this much type of forest. First forest is tropical evergreen, then tropical deciduous, then tropical thorny forest, bushes and scrubs, then mountain forest, and then last one is mangrove forest. Okay. Now we have to discuss in detail that what kind of forests are there and what are the basic characteristics of these forests. So first one is children, tropical evergreen forest. These forests are present in the Western Ghat and the island group of Lakshadweep, Andaman, Nicobar, upper part of Assam, Tamil Nadu coast. We are talking about the coastal line areas. In that areas, these evergreen forests are found. These forests grow best areas having high rainfall, more than 200 centimeter with a short dry season. So, first characteristic of these type of forests, they are evergreen. Second, they are having higher rainfall. That is why, like this 200 centimeter, that much rainfall these forests are getting. The trees reach great height up to 60 meter or above. Now, you can imagine this much tall, no? 60 meter and above. It has the vegetation of all kind of trees, shrubs, creeper, giving up the multi-layer and structure. All varieties of plants and trees are there. No? Very lengthy trees also, scrubs also, creepers also, shrubs also, everything is there. These forests appear green all over the year. It seems look green. Important trees of the forest are ebony, mahogany, rosewood, rubber and cinchona. These are the names of the trees which are found there. And common animal which are found, that is elephant, monkey, lemur and this one deer. Now these type of animals are found. So flora also found and fauna also found in the areas. These characteristics, children, every characteristic you have to by heart, all these types. Second one is tropical deciduous forest. They are also called as monsoon forest. Many of the time this question is asked that which type of particular forest is called as monsoon forest. So this is tropical deciduous. They are spread all over the region having high rainfall between 200 centimeter to 70 centimeter. Evergreen up to 200, then deciduous 200 to 70. They shed their leaves about 6 to 8 weeks in dry summer. When this dry summer is there, they started shedding the leaves. The forest, the common animal, that is lion, tiger, pig, deer and elephant. These are the common animals, common wildlife which are found there. And very important thing, they are divided into two categories. First category is moist and second one is dry deciduous. In this moist deciduous, some of the tree name you have to remember. Basic thing, rainfall, that is 200 to 100 centimeter, and here they are having 100 to 70. Now, if this question difference is asked, then teak is the most dominant species of this forest. Bamboo, sal, shisham, sandalwood, kher, kusum, arjun, mulberry and other commercially important species are found there. These are the common trees, common plants which are found in this moist areas. And then we are having dry areas, we only have teak, sal, peepal and neem. Okay, these kind of trees are found there. So this is a slight difference. According to the rainfall, we have divided into two parts. The third one is the thorny forest, the bushes and the scrubs. The natural vegetation consists of thorny trees and bushes. This type of vegetation is found in the northwestern part of the country, including Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Uttar Pradesh and Haryana. So some of the semi-arid region. In those type of regions, these kind of thorny forest or thorny bushes are found. Basic characteristics are, they scattered and have a long root penetrating deep into the soil to get moisture. Now they are not very much dense. No, they are simply very much scattered and the roots are there inside the earth. With the help of these roots only they are getting the moisture. Second thing, the stem are moist to conserve water. Very soft stem are found there. Leaves are mostly thick and small to minimize evaporation. The length of the leaves are also very small. Then acacias, palm, euphorbias and cacti, they are the main species of plant. And the animal species, that is rat, mice, rabbit, fox, wolf, tiger, lion, wild ass, horse and camel. Okay, these are the wildlife which are found in the areas. Now children, the next category of plants, that is mountain forest. So mountain forests, they are the forests which are found in the mountain. When we are moved toward hilly region, we are having different varieties of plants. That is mountain vegetation and they are counted as mountain forest. So the wet temperate types of forest that is found between the height of 1000 to 2000 meters. Now this much higher altitude we are having 1000 to 2000 and here we have such kind of forest. The high altitude, generally more than 3600 above the sea level, temperate forests and grassland give way to alpine vegetation. Now the kind of vegetation name is also changed. This is not green forest, evergreen forest, this is alpine vegetation. On a very higher altitude these kind of vegetations are found. Alpine grassland are used for grazing also. Clear? The animals which are basically from that particular area, the grazing grounds are there, these alpine forest for them. At higher altitude, mosses and lynches form a part of tundra vegetation. Now as we are moving much more higher, so we are having tundra vegetation. This word tundra, basically those areas which are almost covered with snow. Most of the time, yearly, they are covered with snow. So that is tundra vegetation. We have lynches and we have mosses. The common animals that are found, Kashmir stag, spotted deer, wild sheep, jackrabbit, Tibetan antelope, yak, snow leopard, squirrel, shaggy horned wild ibex, bear and some of the pandas, sheep and goats. These common animals which are found in this area. Okay. Now, the next one is mangrove forest. Mangrove, they are the trees that live along tropical coastline, rooted in salty sediments turned underwater. When we are talking about this mangrove trees, they are in the coastal areas. Clear? Coastal areas which are famous for deltaic region, those areas they are having mangrove forest. Mangrove tidal forests are found in the area of coast influenced by tides. No? So two type of mangrove forest are there. Mangrove tidal forest and dense forest. Okay? In this tidal forest we are having the areas which are affected by coastline tides. Mud, silt, they get accumulated to such areas. Now those areas are even muddy also and silt is there because of the tides. Silt is simply collected over there. So those areas they are having such kind of forest. Then dense mangrove. They are the common variety with the roots of the plant submerged underwater. No? So these plants they are having roots which are there and submerged under water areas. Clear? So two types of mangrove forest. Sundarai trees are found in Ganga Brahmaputra delta, provide hard timber. Na? Sundarai, they are very much famous plant areas are there, and this is basically in the Ganga Brahmaputra delta area. Royal Bengal tiger, this is the famous animal which is found in the tiger. Royal Bengal tiger, this is the famous one. No? For wildlife, if we are counting, this is the only animal which are found in the areas. So this is all about our mangrove forest. Then, so children, all the forest, all the characteristics, those you have to by heart. Now after this plantation, we are coming towards wildlife. India, this is rich in fauna also. Clear? As flora also, we are very much flourish, Indians. No? In the same way, in case of fauna also, we are very much flourished. Elephants are found in hot, wet forest of Assam, Karnataka and Kerala. One-horned rhinoceros are found in Assam and West Bengal. Now here also the special species of the areas, this you have to by heart. In West Bengal and Assam, we are having one-horned rhinoceros. Run of Kutch, this is the habitat of wild ass, whereas the Thar desert, this is the habitat of camel. Run of Kutch is famous for wild ass. Thar desert, this is famous for camels. The natural habitat of the Indian lion is the Gir forest in Gujarat. Clear? Gujarat, this is famous for Gir forest. In this Gir forest, we are having the natural habitat of lion. Tigers are found in the forest of Madhya Pradesh, Sundarban of West Bengal and Himalayan region. This variety tiger, this is very much there in the areas of Madhya Pradesh, Sundarban, some of the areas of Bengal and some of the areas of Himalayas. Ladakh freezing high altitude are home to yak, the shaggy horned wild ox, the Tibetan antelope and the baral, blue sheep, wild sheep and the kiam, the Tibetan wild ass. These high altitudes areas, the areas which are on very higher altitude, they are famous for such variety of wildlife. The rivers, lakes and the coastal area, turtle, crocodile, gharials are found. In the coastline also, we are very much abundantly we are having the wild variety of turtle, crocodiles and gharials. Peacock, peasants, duck, pakits, crane and pigeon, they are some of the birds inhabiting the forest and the wetland of the country. So we are having this much wildlife variety in our country. Now the causes of major threat to flora and fauna, but like in newspaper also many of the time you have heard this information, they are at threat, some of the varieties are at threat. So what was the reason? The reasons are, every species has an important role in the ecosystem, hence conservation of flora and fauna is essential. Now they are at threat, but we have to preserve them. Why we have to preserve them? Because conservation, for ecosystem conservation is must. 1300 plant species are endangered and 20 species are extinct. Now you see the number, this is the number. 1300 they are at endangered level and 20 nobody known. Clear? They are already extinct. The main causes are hunting. Clear? People are hunting for commercial purpose. Then pollution due to chemical and industrial waste, industries waste are there, pollution waste is there, that is dumped in the water areas, and because of that the species, those who are living in water, they simply die. Rapidly cutting of the forest and cultivation of natural cultivation and habitation. No? People simply cut the forest, they are the home for these animals. If forests are not there, where they supposed to live? So these are some common reason why this extent of many of the species are seen. Government initiative. So definitely government is doing a lot now to preserve, to protect these flora and fauna of the country. These are the things. First one, government has taken many steps to protect the flora and fauna for the country. 18 biosphere reserves have been set up in India to protect flora and fauna. 18 biospheres are set up by government. 10 out of these have been included in the World Network for the Biosphere Reserve. Out of 18, 10 are there at the world level. Clear? First step is taken by government. Second is financial and technical assistance has been provided to many botanical garden by the government since 1992. Third step, Project Tiger, Project Rhino, Project Great Indian Bustard and many other eco-development projects have been introduced by government. These are the projects which are run by government to protect a particular species of like tiger, rhino. These type of species must be preserved. So special programs are run by government. 103 National Park, 535 Wildlife Sanctuaries, Zoological Gardens, they are set up to take care of natural heritage. A big number, a big advances are given by government side. 103 national parks are there in India. 535 wildlife sanctuaries are there and zoological gardens are there. So these are the different steps which are taken by our government. So altogether children, this is all about our wildlife, our flora and fauna. Characteristics you have to learn, clear? Characteristics of both flora and fauna also, and what are the steps which are taken by government to preserve them. Very interesting lesson, quite lengthy but very interesting one. Okay, so my kind request to all my dear students, please find out some of the time to read the lesson. If you are reading the lesson, you will get enough information about different kind of things which are discussed. Okay, so thank you.